Fantasy Bros, welcome back to the Fantasy Football Astrology channel. We're going to be diving into the top 10 waiver plays heading into the 2021 season. This is assuming your team is already set, but if it's not, there's going to be some good information I'm going to give about which players versus what players to draft. There's some even players, even Steven players, and I think I can give you guys an edge. If you're willing to stick along with me and listen, I'm going to tell you guys about certain combinations, such things as Juedy versus Sutton. Who should we draft, guys? Who should we draft? Astrology will give us a little bit of an edge there to see who's going to be the more valuable picks. And so without further ado, let's hop into it. Also, I want to comment too, I've got 333 subs. That's a magic number. I've been getting so high on all my subscriptions. I don't know what happened. I hit gold in the YouTube algorithm and I'm getting a bunch of subs, guys. So very cool. I'm loving it. I super appreciate you guys. I know you've been in the comments saying, hey, you deserve more subs and so on and so forth. So really appreciate that, guys. We're going to be heading into this top 10 now. I'm going to get through this. I don't want to waste a moment of your time. So let's hop into it. At 10, I've got 3 different tight ends. I left them at 10. There's a bunch of tight ends I like, but these ones I think are some of the most encouraging and with some of the best astrology, okay? Cole Kmet, Pisces, really good match. Dawson Knox is a polar opposite with Josh Allen. You're going to see a theme in this video, guys. We want to get our hands on everything Buffalo this year. They're looking really hot, okay? Anthony Ferguson. I saw a really cool statistic about the Tennessee Titans tight ends. They said the last 2 years, the Tennessee Titans have produced two top six tight ends, something along those lines. The statistic was very encouraging, is what I'm trying to make that point of, okay? Anthony Ferguson as a Pisces, Ryan Tannehill as a Leo. You like to see the fix moving towards the mutable. It's pretty good, and so I like Anthony Ferguson. Moving on to Ramondre Stevenson at number 9. If you guys don't know Ramondre, you should definitely know Ramondre. He had an incredible preseason, and he has a significant size advantage over all the other running backs. And we know Bill Belichick loves physical football. So Ramondre is a bit more physical than the rest of the guys on that roster. Get your hands on him if you got a roster spot. And so it is what it is. As a Pisces, coming from a Taurus and Josh McDaniels, that is, once again, that is earth and water. That's a beautiful sign. He does have an advantage in astrology as well, okay? Moving on to KJ Hamler. Speaking of advantages in astrology, KJ Hamler has more advantages, significant more advantages than Juedy and Sutton, okay? If you have to decide between Sutton and Juedy in your draft, who do I pick? Who's going to be the better guy? Astrology says Juedy has the better advantage. Okay, but of all those guys, KJ Hamler with either Teddy Bridgewater or Drew Lock is a better astrology because they're both Scorpio, they're all water signs, and so they're going to get along really well. Okay? Guys, I just want to say this in this video because I'm feeling to say this right now. I'm basing this astrology stuff off of things I've already discovered, okay? I discovered it when I discovered Antonio Brown and Ben Roethlisberger were both water signs. They had perfect astrology. The very next combination I looked up was Jerry Rice and Joe Montana. Guess what? Perfect astrology. Both were air signs. Then I looked up Matt Stafford and Calvin Johnson. Guess what? Perfect astrology. Okay, the list kept going, guys. Dante Culpepper, Randy Moss, perfect astrology. Tom Brady, Randy Moss, perfect astrology. Guys, this is all rooted in historical combinations that have had a lot of success. Okay, so I expect KJ Hamler to emerge, especially once Drew Lock wins the starting job again. I do expect Drew Lock to become the starter again. I personally believe he looked better in the preseason. I think it's a bit of a ruse just to try to light a fire under Drew Lock. And so we'll see if it pays off. Not to mention, guys, Drew Lock and Vic Fangio, they have opposite astrology. Leo, fixed fire, and Scorpio, which is what Drew Lock is, fixed water, they clash, okay? Those are some of the most clashing signs, okay? Maybe Vic Fangio is mad at Drew Lock. He's trying to prove a point. Maybe he wants to bench him permanently just because he has an unknown disdain for Drew Lock. But Teddy Bridgewater's a Scorpio too, so he's not going to find any solace in that, okay? Moving on to number 7, I've got Darrell Williams. Guys, I've been warning, I've been cold on Clyde Edwards-Helaire for a while now because he hasn't been as efficient as all the other running backs on the team, it seems like, have been more efficient and have proven to be more efficient than him. Garrett Gore, Darwin Thompson, those guys who aren't even on the team were more efficient, okay? Jerick McKinnon, who I have right here at number 2, also has been really efficient, scoring touchdowns, doing lots of beautiful work in the preseason. I've got at number 2, who does have a significant astrology attraction with Andy Reid as a Pisces. They're going to have a stronger connection than Clyde Edwards-Helaire. Darrell Williams, though, he should be the next man up, they say. So not as good of astrology, but he does have the size advantage over these guys. So we definitely want the running back who's going to be most used in Kansas City. So if we can take advantage of that, I'm smelling that there is a rat in Kansas City, and I think it's Clyde Edwards-Helaire's efficiency, okay? Moving on to number 6, I put Gabriel Davis versus Emmanuel Sanders. Guys, I like Gabriel Davis, okay? And I like Emmanuel Sanders. I like every single player that I can get my hands on in Buffalo. Josh Allen has looked that good in preseason. I think Gabriel Davis, being the younger guy, is the one to go with. He's a nice big target. Emmanuel Sanders is 34 years old, but he does have better astrology. So it's a little bit of a lottery ticket, but I'm going with Gabriel Davis in this situation. He will have an advantage with the coaching staff, okay? Emmanuel Sanders will have an advantage with Josh Allen. So what's going to play out here? I like Gabriel Davis, okay? Moving on to number 5, I have Allen Lazard. And I could have put him versus Randall Cobb. Guys, Allen Lazard is a Sagittarius, so is Aaron Rodgers. The last time I saw something similar to this happen was when Fitzpatrick came in and he started targeting Deshaun Jackson like crazy in Tampa Bay. Deshaun Jackson became way more productive, and so we know these quarterbacks play differently. They have different inclinations. They're more attracted to other guys and their play styles. Maybe it's their play styles, maybe it's their astrology, okay? So Allen Lazard, as a Sagittarius, I think has more favorable astrology in this situation. He's a younger guy, and he's on everybody's waiver just about right now. So really easy pickup to get. And so, guys, I remember the days when Aaron Rodgers, you wanted like all 4 of the receivers you were trying to get your hands on. So he would be the second receiver in Green Bay. Devin Funchess went down with an injury. I don't expect the rookie to get off too quick. So Allen Lazard is the guy here, all right? Moving on to Sam Darnold. This is a really fun play. Sam Darnold is playing the Jets in week 1. The Jets are probably going to get routed, okay? And Sam Darnold's probably going to have a huge week. And then what do you have, guys? You have super good trade bait, okay? Say you got a guy who has DJ Moore, or a guy who has Robbie Anderson, and you want to create those stacks. You can try to trade Sam Darnold to those guys. If you have a DJ Moore, who I highly recommend drafting because the astrology is really good, then you want to get your hands on a Sam Darnold, okay? Not to mention, the head coaches have super good astrology with Sam Darnold, okay? They're Libra and Aquarius. It's the perfect trine over there. Everything in Carolina astrologically looks super good, okay? Moving on, Wayne Gallman at 3. He does have an advantage in astrology over Mike Davis. He's also the younger guy. They're both new backs over there. He very well could be getting split time with Mike Davis. We just have to kind of wait and see how that's going to pan out. But he does have an astrological advantage. His offensive coordinator is a Libra. His head coach over there in Atlanta is an Aries. And so Mike Davis as a Pisces is not as strong as Wayne Gallman as a Libra. Okay? Number 2, Jerick McKinnon. I've talked about him already. Guys, almost every single player on that Kansas City offense is either earth or water. Only 2 offensive linemen, in Kelsey as well, are the other types of signs, okay? Those are intellectual signs. So Jerick McKinnon has a significant astrology favoritism with Andy Reid as a Pisces and a better chemistry with most of the players on that offense, especially the skill positions, okay? I really like Jerick McKinnon. He's looked very efficient as well, okay? And at number 1, guys, Tony Jones Jr. as a Sagittarius. He plays for the Saints. Guys, Tony Jones Jr. is taking over Latavius Murray's role. Latavius Murray is 30 years old, and Tony Jones Jr. looks like the absolute truth, guys. He's doing everything. He's pass blocking really well. He's catching the ball really well. He's making the move when his quarterback scrambles. He's doing all the right things. I mean, he's playing like an all-star out there. So Saints, we know, have drafted pretty good running back in the past with Kamara. Maybe this is a trend, guys. Saints know how to draft running backs. Tony Jones Jr. has looked the part. When it comes to astrology, there's not much of an advantage there. Kamara's a Leo. They're both fire signs. Their coordinator is a Libra. And so Sean Payton's a Capricorn. There's no real significant advantage, in my opinion. Tony Jones Jr. just looks like he's going to have that second role that Murray used to have. And so he's got standalone value, maybe even heading into week 1. We know the Saints love to run the football. They're going to be protecting Jameis Winston by running the football a lot. Get your hands on Tony Jones Jr. He's probably available in your league. Love you guys. Cheerio. Have a good one.